The issue is that we have some folks who would like to see our community as a whole eventually move to Discord from TeamSpeak. There's a lot of opinions on both sides. This doesn't need to be contentious. This doesn't need to be a debate. It needs to be a discussion. And it does not need to drag on for 3-4 hours. So what I think we should do is I'm stating the issue now because this is the first issue that we're going to have this evening. We know that we've had an offer put on the table by Global, as a matter of fact, that we hold our next meeting in 2 weeks on March the 2nd in Discord and not on TeamSpeak. Just to test the functionality for groups, and so everybody has a chance to experience the differences. We can see how well it works as far as administration and everything. That's an idea. We can vote on that idea. I don't think anybody really disagrees with the possibility of trying it out. This is the first thing we're going to talk about. If you disagree that we're going to try Discord on our next meeting, or for any reason you don't want to do that, this will be your chance to speak. Let's tackle that first. If anybody has any problem with us having a meeting on March 2nd in Discord, we'd like to hear from you right now. And we don't seem to have anybody that is in disagreement with at least attempting that. So I think we'll call that a motion carried. What do you have, Imroth?
Just quickly making sure that everybody's aware, the next meeting is March 3rd, not March 2nd. March 2nd is a Friday.
Oh, sorry.
Just wanting to clarify that so people don't get their dates mixed up.
Roger that. Thank you, Imroth. All right, so we'll call that a motion, and we'll call that motion carried by the membership. Nobody in here is disagreeing that it would be worth exploring on March 3rd. What do you have for me, Flo?
I just wanted to ask if it would still be possible to get the whispers on TeamSpeak as a reminder.
You mean like just a couple minutes before the meeting, do the whispers that we're having a meeting on Discord?
Yeah, like you normally do.
Yes, sir. I can make sure that happens. I appreciate that suggestion, actually. It would be good to remind people at the last minute. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and ask Football to make a note that we event this on Steam and Facebook in such a way that people are reminded a good 10, 15, 20 minutes before the meeting that we will be on Discord that evening instead of TeamSpeak. And also, we'll make sure that somebody is also sitting on TeamSpeak that evening to remind folks that if they're looking for people, where is everybody, that they'll understand what's going on. I would suggest that we have somebody waiting at least an hour before, because there might be a couple of stragglers coming in that don't realize we're going to be on Discord, and they might have to go to the trouble of downloading it and setting it up. So let's make sure that they know about this ahead of time. What do you have for us, Sean?
So will we still pay for TeamSpeak if we move to Discord?
Because I'm Batman.
I'm so sorry.
Well, we're going to discuss everything, the differences and all that. I'm going to try and do this in sort of a controlled manner so that we don't have like a free for all for a few hours. So we'll get to that in just a second. HT, do you have something on the meeting coming up?
Yeah, I was just curious how it's gonna work for the channel commander. Does the Discord have a similar setting?
That is actually definitely something we should be bringing up. Do you have something on that, Dodo?
Nope. There's actually Discord. There's a Discord bot where you can do like exclamation mark, like alert or something, and it'll like alert like the leaders or something that you want to say something or something like that.
Oh, I see. Like you can flag it and say, I want to speak next.
Yeah, you can also like use the box, play music, and all that.
Alrighty, we're definitely going to have a discussion, a technical discussion, sometime later, possibly in the closed section. Dragonfire is one of our people who would probably know a little bit about that. If anybody is really strong in the Discord force, so to speak, let's ask you to send me a little message privately, and we might want your input on this. as the night continues. But again, that's sort of a technical thing. We'll put that off to the side for the moment for the purposes of the meeting. But anybody that knows specifically a tool that we could use to allow people to make themselves stand out like Channel Commander in Discord, just give me a little holler and we'll throw it out. And I greatly appreciate everybody's opinions on stuff like that. And thank you for bringing that up. That's a very important thing to bring up. What else do you have, Sean?
I just want to say, you know, I think it's safer that we move to Discord, because with TeamSpeak, you can be DDoS on TeamSpeak with your IP and stuff, and that's why I suggest Discord.
Roger that. Again, we're gonna break this up into different issues about why and for. We don't want this to be like a free for all, so we'll get to that in just a second. Right at the moment, we're talking about the upcoming meeting and anything that has to do with the upcoming meeting. What do you have doing up?
For the meeting, if you guys are looking for the Channel Commander bots, here's the link. There's like hundreds that you could choose from.
Roger that. Okay. If anybody does message me in the background, keep in mind I'm trying to keep this moving. So if I don't respond right away, just hang on just a second and I'll respond to you. I'm trying to keep the meeting minutes and everything at the same time. Speaking of which, if somebody would do me a minor favor, if any one of you, I only need one person to do this, would just go through and list the attendees, literally type out all the names from top to bottom in the channel, separated by commas, and then just copy and paste that list to me in private message so that I can list the attendees to the meeting, everyone that's here on the meeting minutes, but I just don't have time to type right now because I'm trying to keep this moving. Amroth, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Alrighty, so we've motion carried. We're going to have our next meeting in Discord. We're going to talk about, obviously, how we would flag people for speaking up next. We'll talk about that as time goes on. Does anybody else have any other technical stuff when it comes to the next meeting? Like, is there anything that we're overlooking right now that we should be aware of, such as any kind of setting that has anything to do with groups, or maybe we might want to mute people, or any kind of weird Discord specific stuff we need to know? What do you have, Sean?
We'd be notified of the Discord address as soon as, you know, if we move our meeting to Discord. Like, will we get notified of the...
That's a good point. I know that sometimes people have to be like invited to Discords and stuff.
Yeah, would you guys notify all of us, like, the address of the Discord and like invite everybody, or?
That's a great question. Does anybody already have the you'll post an invite URL? Is that what's okay? Yeah, I see a lot of text going by down here. Okay, that is the Discord link as it stands at the moment from Dragonfire. If everybody will link that up, I would actually suggest go ahead and link up with our Discord right now, so it'll already be in your background. And honestly, technically, right this minute, we are not broadcasting this meeting and we are not pulling this meeting in our Discord presently. However, having said that, if any of you wish to like double up both TeamSpeak and Discord, like maybe you want to chat in Discord while we talk voice here, that's fine. Anybody that has any the reason I say this is let's do this now. If you haven't familiarized yourself with Discord, go ahead and jump in Discord right this minute. Anybody that's there, if there's settings or anything that you need to know, if there's anything you need to set so it'll be ready for next meeting in 2 weeks, go ahead and find out what you need to do now. But keep listening here in TeamSpeak. All right, Amroth, I really appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Okay. So next item, I want to go ahead and I want to keep this moving. Rather than get everybody's opinion one at a time and so on and so forth, does anybody have massively compelling reasons why they personally feel like they are not open to moving to Discord whatsoever.
What an idiot.
Oh, jeez.
What do you have doing it?
There's one reason. It's easier to troll because people can like send bots to the server and like play music or like play bad stuff. So yeah.
What now? Do you take care of that kind of thing, Donut, by having a constant administration presence to get rid of them, or what's the best way?
Yeah.
To,
That you can install that can like if someone says something bad, that
Are-
the bot will like delete the message.
Something
Gotcha.
as simple as something as simple as permissions would cover something like that.
Like
Okie dokie.
if we were to have the meeting on Discord right now and we had a bot, I could just do exclamation mark play like a not a PG song and it'll play to everyone in this channel.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and say this. I don't want to discourage Donut's suggestions here. Remember that I just asked if there were any reasons, technical or otherwise, why we should make the switch. He's just given one reason why that might be true. Did you have something, Prodigal, for the same kind of thought?
Yeah, when it comes to the music, you can set what rooms the music bot can go to. So like most people create like a music room that the bot can only go into that room. It can't go to any of the other rooms. I personally like TeamSpeak. I'm just old, and I switched from Ventrilo to TeamSpeak. And I just, it's like the parking lot at Walmart. I got my one spot that I like to park, and there's no reason. I just like it. But Discord is preferable because more people are using it now. Like every time I play with somebody, they're asking me to jump on Discord. So.
There is a large group of people who would also tell us that Discord has the ability to be both a, hey, come to my server, or come to my, it's kind of like it can be a server or it can be a one-on-one thing. So instead of connecting to a server in order to one-on-one with somebody, you can literally just one-on-one on their own server. So that whole decentralized server thing is a big plus. Again, we're not so much talking about Discord's pluses right now, but more about does anyone have huge reasons why they just simply do not want to leave TeamSpeak itself? What do you have, Sean?
I just want what Particle said. More gaming communities are actually using Discord. He is correct. A lot of streamers use it too for their gaming and whatnot for their community, and I think he's correct that with us being a community, I think Discord is a lot more easier for all of us to use.
Okay. Flo, what do you have for us?
As popular as Discord is, personally on my PC, it lags me a bit more than TeamSpeak does. So that would be one little gripe.
Okay. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Again, this is about reasons why we should not move away from TeamSpeak to Discord. And right now, Kratos, what do you have for me?
Yeah, I made a post in the section in the thread that Amroth posted. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. I don't really feel like I need to read it or anything, but there's a pretty big reason, in my opinion, why we shouldn't switch over. I actually prefer Discord personally. I think Discord makes a lot more sense for what just for future use. I think it's going to eventually be about the only option. But for right now, so most of you know that football has a really difficult challenge with being online and being in our community and being as helpful as he is. Now, we like to troll him a lot, we like to joke around a lot, but he is a very important member of our community, and he's probably the most active member of our community as well. So considering that this decision will probably impact his life, not only because of the physical limitations he has, but because he's on the most. It's going to impact him more than any of us. And with that being said, he has asked us not to switch to Discord because Discord is more difficult for his computer to run. It's more difficult for him to run it, with the voice commands and stuff. that he has to use. I suppose Discord's not quite as friendly with that stuff as TeamSpeak is. So to me, I think that's probably the biggest reason why we shouldn't switch.
Roger that. Thank you, Kratos. That's exactly why I wanted to break this up into different thoughts and opinions rather than just a free-for-all, because we need to know pluses and minuses of both of the platforms, and that's really pretty important reason, I think. What do you have, Grim?
Yeah, so football likes to call me old man because I'm in the 5th decade of my life, and I'm not opposed to change. I like new stuff. I installed Discord about 2 months ago for the first time, and I have some other friends that I talk to on it, and my perspective is it's not nearly as intuitive as TeamSpeak is. So that's one reason why I would be against it, but then the other, but then I'm not opposed to learning how to use it. It may offer more opportunity, but my comment is just that it doesn't appear to be as intuitive as TeamSpeak.
That's a very good point. I appreciate that, Grim. Prado, did you have another point you wanted to bring up? Your light has gone on and off a couple times.
Well, I was. Somebody's already said it. I was going to say it, and then somebody said it. So.
Okay. Before I move to Grid, somebody told me in a private message that one of their reasons for not wanting to switch is voice activation detection is either ultra sensitive or doesn't pick up enough. So it's a gripe about the technical quality of voice activation. So what do you have, Grid?
I can comment on a couple of these actually, because I run a successful community through Discord myself. I've been finding as I use Discord on a daily basis as a daily driver now that TeamSpeak's permission system is a very it's too number based. It is too easy to mess up permissions, corrupt, destroy a TeamSpeak server very quickly. Especially if you don't know what you're doing, or if you don't know what value is affecting what. Discord's permission system is extremely intuitive, very easy to understand. It's literally flipping switches. And the cool part is now with categories being a new thing, you can create categories that have overall permission systems that apply to those sub channels only. And so it's easier if something goes wrong in that particular instance, you can just literally go back to the category root permission set and see what's set up in there, or change. Even if you do like an overall, then you can go to individual channels and change what the permission is. Whereas in TeamSpeak, from speaking from experience, because I still kind of run a TeamSpeak server myself privately, TeamSpeak's permission system is much more confusing, and it's you can have issues where if one wrong number value gets inputted in, you could potentially break the entire server.
Yeah.
Okay, that's legitimate concerns. We've heard a couple of similar concerns about the permission system. From the administration side, we definitely we're definitely considering all of that. We do have a little bit of infrastructure on the administration side because we've actually had our Discord up for a little while, and one of our tech support guys, Troy, was building a bot and everything. So we've got some pretty good infrastructure already there, and so we're not starting from zero. That's the good thing. When it comes to things like permissions, this would be obviously an ongoing thing, just like any community. So at the moment, let me jump to Kratos because he said it's light orange for a minute now.
I was just gonna say though, like I hear you, but how many people in our community do our permission systems affect besides the ones of us that do edit it or manage them? And I would say none, actually. So like I don't think that should be a very strong point, just because we have about 3 or 4 people that manage our permissions as our community in general, not even just our TeamSpeak, but our forums, our Discord, everything. And we don't really have very many issues, and when we do, we fix them fairly quickly. So I don't think that's either way kind of thing.
Alrighty, let me go ahead and make sure that I say this. We're going to wrap up. We're going to wrap up this particular subject here in just a minute. So if you have anything to say, now would be the good time. Sean, what do you have?
I was gonna go off of what Grit said. the permission settings on Discord is a lot easier, like he said. It's more easier to deal with, and it's a lot, it's not difficult to mess with, and that's why Discord is a lot easier to do permissions on than Teams.
It also can prevent on Discord. I've noticed there's less chances of user flooding, since you can force like people have to have an email address with their Discord account, and potentially you can avoid multi-client flooding, whereas TeamSpeak literally just open tab after tab after tab after tab. Discord it's more difficult. So from a protective community perspective, can be theoretically safer than TeamSpeak is.
All right, let me stop us there. First of all, Sean was speaking and Elvis was next. That was the first thing. Second thing, we're not talking about the pros of Discord right now. We're talking about the negatives of TeamSpeak. What do you have, Elvis?
So, for the new people here, I was the original DL for Rocket League, and that I'm building that premise so that you understand what I'm trying to say here for those that are new. Now, saying that, when I was setting up advertisement and I was setting up descriptions and I was setting up just making the official Rocket League game for CC something special and just pushing everything, I had to learn HTML. I had to learn so many things. And for future games, now if people come in and they know HTML and everything, because no one helped me. When I was setting up everything, I had to go to Oxy, and King Steve was busy, and I don't know where everybody else was. But when it comes to advertising and really making a game stand out and be special, it's very difficult to do on TeamSpeak if you're like a level -1 internet tech person, So I'm just saying that, I mean, there's obviously benefits, and I see the benefits of TeamSpeak, but if you're looking at advertising and making a channel stand out, like, I wanted something simple, like a soccer ball on my channel that I made, and because permissions were so screwed up because of an error from a previous member, or he still is a member, it took some time to get everything back up and going. So it would be nice to know that for future games, you can make things super advertising friendly, like create a bot. I mean, I'm just telling you that it isn't rainbows and sunshine for creating an environment to advertise a game and get people drawn into the official games for CC. I just wanted to make that apparent when I was trying to, start up the Rocket League and all that.
We appreciate it, Elvis. Elvis is one of the people that is very much in favor of the Discord, and as somebody who games as tremendously as Elvis games and stuff, he has a very valued opinion. So I really want to jump around and get to a different topic, but so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to say that Cappy and Sean have their lights lit. They're going to speak next, and as soon as they're done speaking, we're going to move on to the next sort of segment of this topic. Go ahead, Cappy.
So about I'm sorry that I showed up late. Work kind of rolled over a little bit. I would have to say the negative about Discord is that it's based on its own server. So the problem with that is, instead of us letting us know about like server outages, Discord kind of just shuts down. So I could see that being an issue. Whereas TeamSpeak, we can reset it. However, that's the main issue that I see with Discord compared to like TeamSpeak and other things like that. Now, it is true that Discord is in active development, but it's kind of a somewhat new voice over IP client, so yeah.
Could you mute your mic when you're typing?
Sorry, no, I'll just turn the sensitivity up. Sorry about that. Continue.
Was that all you had, Cappy?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have, Sean?
I was gonna go off what Greg just said. You know, Discord is their Twitter is very active when there's an outage. They're always on it 24/7. When there's an outage, they know about it and it's right back. The servers are right back up. So, again, what Captain Mon said, you know, there is an outage in Discord sometimes, but their Discord technicians are always on it 24/7. It's back up and running in less than 5 minutes.
Roger that. Okay, so we've heard a lot of opinions on the negatives of TeamSpeak, and we've had some other stuff sprinkled in there as well. But what do you have, Kratos, as a question?
Yeah, so I know that they like kind of apparently they like look in on people's private messages to make sure you're not breaking any rules and such like that. What's gonna stop them from like deciding what kind of like Bible study you can run, or what kind of scripture we can post, or like what stops them from doing that, considering it's not our server, it's their server? And then I'm not suggesting they would ever do that either, so please don't act like a expert on the situation, like you understand how, like I'm putting it out there that like that's the kind of control we could possibly be giving up, and it's not that far-fetched that something like that could happen, considering they already look in your private messages to see if you're breaking their rules. So just something to consider, and I don't know how likely that is to ever happen, but
all right, if we could keep the answers to that question brief, we'll start with you, Grid.
The only time that was an instance was when there was a organized, shall I say, an organized disruptive event some months ago. I forget what the situation was, where yes, they had to go in and shut in particular types of Discord servers because they were the cause of that tragic event and stuff. But otherwise, from my understanding, no, Discord doesn't really care what you talk about and stuff. And as I've just posted a link there, you can look over it yourself, and you can do further research if you want. I've never heard of another case where Discord has gone in and potentially deleted someone's server. It was just that rare instance. They had to stop certain extremist groups because they were the root cause of another tragic situation.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Donut, do you have something? I'm sorry, guys.
You kind of already said in chat. So.
Roger that. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Kratos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the point isn't that they haven't done it a lot. The point is they've done it, right? And so it's similar to the idea of who's allowed to protest in America by the media and who's not allowed to. It doesn't matter if they've only not allowed, say, Nazis, like they had a real problem with in Charlottesville. It's probably a good thing. We don't really want Nazis killing people in the streets, but the fact that you can't censor one group and then just say, oh, but I'll never censor another group. That's not really the way censorship works, or freedom in general works. So I'm not saying that like I said, I'm not saying that they are going to do that. I'm asking what would stop them from doing that.
Okay. All right. At this time, I just want to throw this out there in trying to break this into segments so that we keep moving and we don't get bogged down on any one particular part of this discussion. At this time, I'd like everybody to put their attention to that straw poll me link that I just put. Just general feeling of TeamSpeak or Discord. This is not an official vote. This is not going to replace any of our discussions on the forums or anything like that. This is just to sort of get a feeling for how people feel right now, this minute, in this meeting. So if you'll please go to that link and enter whether you prefer TeamSpeak or Discord. And yes, macaroni and cheese, that's a real choice. That's what you call the survey control. Make sure you're paying attention. Okay, as people check out that link, you'll notice that we have some text chat going on where Elvis has mentioned that Discord is not new, that they are constantly improving. Just something to think about. And so while everybody is sort of giving their attention to this straw poll, I think the next thing we should talk about is what do people feel? Okay, listen to this question. What do you feel we would be gaining that we don't already have if we move to Discord? What would we be gaining that we don't already have? I'm not talking about permissions. I'm not talking about administration rights. I'm not talking about anything like that. Nothing technical, no bots. I don't care about any of that stuff. What does the average user who's looking for a Christian community to play with for different games online, what would this person immediately feel as a result of coming on Discord as opposed to TeamSpeak? How would they immediately react to that difference? What's the plus that Discord has that TeamSpeak does not have? And I'm going to open this in order with Cappy. You got in under the wire. I'm going to let you go first since you turned orange. What do you have?
First, Greg can go, and then I can go last.
Roger that. Okay. Go for it, Greg.
So what I have, so like I'm one of those people where I have to stay up on a lot of things and I have to keep up with stuff for my what I do essentially online. And frankly, Discord is the more popular platform to use. A lot of it's more it feels more valid to people. It's newer. People like new flashy things, and I use Discord as thinking of it as that, you know, Paul says in the Bible, be all things to all people. Right now, all things to all people is using Discord as a form of communication that is, I mean, it kind of goes back to something else a while ago. Someone when we were talking about this. Someone was like, well, why in the heck wouldn't they want to use a TeamSpeak? Well, they don't want to use TeamSpeak because it's old. People are not using it. People don't feel like it's the best platform to use. And it's a more popular one my brain's not working today. I know what I mean. I just can't do it.
Well, let me stop you there, Greg. You brought up a really good point. Let me sort of disclaim what I'm about to say. As a person who absolutely hates trendiness and stuff, I really don't like trendiness as an argument for most things. However, what Grit is saying has a whole lot of merit. If you are trying to pull people in on the internet, sometimes it's the new, shiny, highly technical, really cool, neat app that draws attention. And Discord has both a desktop app, a phone app. It has, it has all these things that TeamSpeak has. And I'm not saying that, again, this question is more like, what does Discord have that TeamSpeak doesn't? Discord has a base of people who think, this is the next big thing. And regardless of what you feel about trendiness, and regardless of what you feel about the power of fads or anything else, if something brings a lot of people in, it brings a lot of people in, period. That's something that we have to keep in mind. So that's a very good point.
What I have found the best, speaking of somebody who uses Discord as a daily driver, I find it easier to get a hold of people. I find it easier to connect with my community. I am always within reach with the people that I've built my group, Guardians of the Grid, which is my streaming community. I'm in contact with my group. I talk to my group. They reach out to me. I can call them on my phone at any given time. And people like that connection. And TeamSpeak, the problem with it is that the messages don't go with you. When you leave a channel and you close a client, the messages are gone. You can't keep record history, so you can't keep people accountable if they said something they shouldn't have. Discord is a go anywhere application. And you know, am more advocate to use it because it is, frankly, yeah, it's a more popular platform. It's easier to use. It has a nicer interface. It's just I just think it's a great experience. I used to not like it, but now I do. Now that I've had the time to work on, and use it, and it's also constantly in active development. They've got video chat now. They've got
Right. Let me
group
let me
stuff.
stop you. I hate to interrupt. I'm stop. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You're getting into what we were kind of hoping to avoid, which is the the gushing opinion. Sorry. No, it's cool, great. It's cool. What I'm saying is we want to.
I'm just saying there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of potential to using Discord over TeamSpeak. And
I understand. Let me go ahead and move on. The reason I'm saying this is I'm not trying to personally pick on you, Grid. This is basically we're trying to stay a little away from opinion right now, as far as the overall opinion, because I know you're a big fan. Elvis and a bunch of people are big fans, and they all want to speak too. We're trying to keep it brief, and we're trying to say specifically this particular orange light that's lit up right now is what does Discord have that TeamSpeak doesn't, and so I know how you feel about all that stuff. Let me get down to brass tacks here with Cappy, because I think Cappy might have something interesting to say. If Cappy's paying attention.
Sorry, since we're talking real quick. The one nice thing about Discord is its app integration. Like, for example, say you're trying to find people who play the same game as you do. With Discord, it automatically appears on your profile as what you are playing. One other nice thing is that, like I said, app integration. They have an API that you can use to implement into, like, CC Gaming's website. And you can just simply, with a click of a button, just join the server. There was, I believe someone brought up, like, offline messages. TeamSpeak does have that, but it's not as prevalent. Like, it's hard to set up. And also private messages and other things like that. I also forgot to mention another negative is that it can get crowded. Like, your windows can get crowded and other things like that. So I would have to say the integration is nice. Like, a lot more developers are getting into Discord integration and other things like that. So that's a plus that I see. So
Alrighty, I appreciate it. Cappy, you went down a list of points, and I appreciate that's exactly what I'm looking for. Let me go ahead and just keep this straight down the name list thing going and hit donut. Can you be brief, sir?
I've had my server for like a year. It has like 50 members, and there's only been like one troll. There you go.
And, well, you don't count on your own server, do you?
Well,
Got him. Alrighty, what do you have for us, Flo?
Discord definitely has the numbers. I've lost quite a few recruits on video because they just don't want to download TeamSpeak. Discord's easier, Discord's faster. Discord also offers a semi-forum-like experience because of the text channels. So it's definitely a lot more accessible for people. That's a plus in its favor.
That's very well said, Flo. I appreciate the briefness. I'm going to go ahead and jump to Sean real fast. What do you have, Sean?
Yeah, so with Discord, right now, with us being on Discord, on TeamSpeak, our IPs are open to people that can DOS us, and that's the issue right now on TeamSpeak, is people getting DOSed. With Discord, your IP is hidden, where they can't DOS you, and that's why TeamSpeak is a dangerous place right now, because your IP is open to people, and basically they can shut your internet off.
Okay, that was a very good point, and I appreciate your brevity as well. And what do you have for us, Mr. Elvis?
Two things. One is that when you have Discord and others have Discord, you can add them as friends. And in the past, in TeamSpeak, if you have any issues with people or you want to talk to a council member or whatever the situation is, you have to come into TeamSpeak and either you do some setting or some junk to make sure no one sees you or just some garbage like that, whereas in Discord, you can just add a friend and no one needs to know. No one needs to see like, oh, why are they getting into the TeamSpeak channel together? Why are, and no one needs to know. You just add them as a friend, talk privately with voice or video or both. And if you need to bring in someone else, you can add a friend and you can bring them into the conversation and you can all talk amongst each other, however, which way you want. And you can keep, I don't know what the max is for how many people that you can add in the one conversation, but what it comes down to is that no one needs to know. So there's that extreme level of privacy that TeamSpeak does not offer unless you go through a bunch of baloney settings that, I feel just don't need to happen. And then the other thing is community growth. I understand the fad thing that you're talking about, Neil, and I completely agree that fads are dumb and that, if I saw Discord as a fad, then not even I would have it. I mean, I wouldn't. I would think there's no reason to have it. It's going to die. It's done. But one of the biggest things that I've seen is that, and this is the best example I can give, is that Crosser, myself, and Oxy were playing this game on Steam, and there was this, because it was buggy and free to play and whatever. Well, there was a section on the main menu that said, click, basically it's click here to go to tech support and, the forum or whatever. And instead of like a link to a website, it gave a link to Discord. I mean, that's ridiculous. And other companies are doing it, like Corsair, like EVGA, like more and more tech companies, and not just tech companies, just other companies are starting to embrace Discord. So in terms of scope and reaching out to as many people as you can so that CC gets revitalized, rejuvenated, and just more and more people, I feel that in the future, even a year from now, that CC would be able to reach more people and engage more people through Discord than the future of TeamSpeak.
Okay, before we move any further, I want to kind of expand on what Elvis just said. From a long-term computer user like myself, a long time ago, we used to have a thing called Internet Relay Chat. And Internet Relay Chat was full of security holes, and you could literally hack into other people's hard drives. It was crazy. It was the Wild West of chats. And people would go on Internet Relay Chat, which was really, it was kind of like the web. It was like, you have a place people can visit you, but you're in control of your website. So you can do certain things and have certain functions that maybe the other IRC server doesn't. Well, people learned how to script and create with the chat client programs you would use, bots and other things similar to what Discord uses. Now, IRC evolved and it became more secure as the years went on, and it lasted for so long that now you don't realize it. But sometimes when you use chat systems like on websites to maybe talk to a representative at your cable company or something like that, what you don't realize is you might be talking to them through an Internet Relay Chat shell. You don't even realize it because it's so much more secure now than it used to be. Well, the point of me saying this is that Discord is the new IRC. It is a voice-activated version of IRC. The normal user has sort of like command line ability to do things. So it's very reminiscent of IRC. And IRC was a hotbed of innovation and invention. And so I totally understand what Aldous is saying. Big tech companies getting involved. As Cappy said, we have people who are writing what are called APIs, which means that an API is like a communication standard that says, like, if you're writing an app for phones and you use the API for Discord, that means that your app will be able to communicate through Discord. So there's a lot of really good stuff here. So let's continue in that vein. We're still talking about what does Discord have that TeamSpeak doesn't? And it's Grim's turn. What do you have, Grim?
There seems to be a debate as to whether or not our IPs are actually available through TeamSpeak. Some saying they are, some saying they aren't. And I seem to recall on other TeamSpeak servers that it was that you were capable of blocking the advertisement of the IP. Now, I realize that there are, when you drill down, there are tools that could be used that could still be able to see those IPs. But I think that's something that needs to be cleared up, because that's a point of contention that DDoSing is possible with TeamSpeak. So that point needs to be clarified, whether or not our IPs are actually advertised or not. The other point that I want to make is, and I think this is more important, is that if we want to move people towards Discord, it needs to be sold. It needs to be sold to these. There needs to be a video that shows, hey, this is what you can do, not just saying what you can do. There needs to be visuals to see how Discord can be used in a way that's better than how TeamSpeak works. And if there is a video, whether it's on Discord side or on YouTube or whatever, that needs to be advertised to everybody. And everybody needs to be informed on how much better Discord is before everybody makes a decision.
Roger that. Let me go ahead and post again this link to the Straw Me poll right here. Whoop, it's got a little doohickey in it. Hang on.
Oh.
There you go. We've only had 20 votes so far. This is not an official vote. This is not taking place as any of the forum posts that we have. This is just to get the general feeling of the people that are in TeamSpeak at this moment. That was a very good point. I want to move on to Cappy really quick. What do you have, Cappy?
I just wanted to clarify about like DDoSing on TeamSpeak versus Discord. First and foremost, just want to let you guys know, to those who do have questions about IP addresses and other things like that, I am as many of you know, I am a networking technician. I have a degree, 2 years in this field. First and foremost, you yourself cannot be DDoSed. The reason why is that most computers, unless you have it set specifically, are dynamic IP addresses, meaning that they always constantly change. So your IP address is not what Discord, TeamSpeak reads. And also, most admins on up can only see your client address, except for council members and I believe tech support as well.
Okay.
Also, real quick, client IP addresses are not your IP.
But again, this is sort of getting into a technical realm that really doesn't matter at the moment. The basic thing is what I was saying about IRC is still true today. Back in the old days, I could literally flood your connection with a bunch of trash information and data that would overwhelm your computer. You can't really do that anymore. There's barriers between, for example, myself and Grid right now, where I could not send a trash flood to Grid and knock his connection offline. It just doesn't work that way anymore. There's too many barriers between the packets I'm sending and the packets he's receiving. So that sort of denial of service attack is no longer a individual issue. It's more of a server issue. That's what Cappy's saying. Let me go ahead and jump to Sprinkles because she's been waiting longer than anyone.
I just want to jump off of what Custom Elvis said with the private side of Discord, where you can be in private chats and video chats with your friends, bring however many friends in a separate private chat. With that being, how many people would actually like TeamSpeak, where we can see who is on in the community at any given night, whereas you can't see if someone's in private calls or whatever. So as far as the fellowship aspect, I think TeamSpeak is.
We're talking about the positives of Discord.
Oh, we were talking about the reason why we shouldn't move from TeamSpeak, and no one was listening to that either. So I think she's okay.
Yeah, we have had people jump from subject to subject inside of the different segments, so it's okay. Did you have anything else, Sprinkles?
No.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and say that as of this moment, if you want to say anything else on this issue, I need to get your light lit up behind Grid because at the moment, Grid is the last speaker on this particular segment. Anybody else wants to light up, now's the time. Alrighty, Sean is in also. What do you have, Grid?
Something I just thought of actually, as another positive of Discord is when someone goes to post a link, you see what that link is before you open it. For example, like Neo, like if you were to post that straw poll in Discord right now, it would immediately show what the outcome destination of that link is, and from a protecting all of us from the trash of the internet, it is far better to post a link on in Discord than TeamSpeak. No flow. TeamSpeak does not do that. I've tried it. It doesn't work. And so on Discord, it's actually better to really like see links there than here, because I've actually avoided certain links on TeamSpeak simply because I wasn't sure where that link was going to go, and I was not about to click to find out. Whereas Discord, I know where it's going to go before I click it. That's it.
Alrighty. That is a really good point, though. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and go to Sean real quick.
Like I said, our IPs are actually in danger when on TeamSpeak because we could be DDoS at any moment. You know, it doesn't matter if our client address is not our real IP address. It doesn't matter. We can still be DDoSed. We can be kicked offline.
I cannot personally DDoS you, though. I can't personally DDoS you.
I mean, that is true, but still, our IPs are still, on danger of being, we're still in danger of being kicked offline because they could DDoS us any moment. It doesn't matter.
Okay, can I kick in for a second? I don't think you realize exactly how easy it is to get your IP, regardless of getting off of TeamSpeak or whatever. There's a million different ways to get people's IPs, to get whatever information they want on the internet. So saying because it doesn't actually show your client ID versus your static IP or whatever, that's not any more secure. Like Neo was saying, he can't actually DDoS you. It doesn't work that way anymore, just because all the barriers that are in there now.
Appreciate it, Bandit. Okay, before we go on to any other subjects, I want to go ahead and let you know that as of this moment, the TeamSpeak is outweighing Discord 12 votes to 9. Shame on you people that voted for macaroni and cheese, although I completely understand.
People are hungry.
Well, I'm a big fan of macaroni and cheese. If we are what we eat, I'd probably be a cheesy noodle myself. But
nice.
At any rate, so just before we move on, understand that the general opinion at this moment is still for TeamSpeak. So those of you who are fighting the Discord cause, don't become more passionate or more, get in people's face about it, but you definitely need to have even more interesting reasoning behind what you're saying. Because we definitely are going to have our March 3rd meeting on Saturday, 2 weeks from today, in Discord, one way or the other. That's already been suggested and motioned and carried. And again, we're going to have reminders of that before the occasion. So any of you that don't have Discord need to download it. If you need somebody to help you set it up, any of that stuff, we'll have plenty of time for that. And we're going to have somebody sitting in TeamSpeak that night, making sure that people understand that's where everybody is. So having said that, between now and 2 weeks from now, if you have really good, compelling arguments, please, if somebody would grab the forum thread for me, Crosser and a couple of other people have threads going right now about this issue. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing those links for me. Weigh in on this topic, talk about this. This kind of thing is why we have meetings in the first place. This is why we come together in the first place. Because if you want something done in this community, your voice is what matters the most. Now, having said that, we're gonna continue to break this up into these little segments. Before we go any further, Donut, what do you have?
We're gonna have a new straw poll after the meeting because some people might like it after we try it out.
I'm more than willing to run straw polls anytime we like. Yes, we can do that. It's no problem. What do you have, Kratos?
I guess I'm just curious more than anything. So, no, never mind. I'll ask another time. Go ahead, Amrath.
So,
yes,
I know Neo did a straw poll tonight, and I understand he's trying to get people's votes. But I've already created also a topic on the forums. This specific vote is for members only currently. It may get moved in the future after discussion with the council members. I've created this in the members section only. This is focused on getting all our members to get their votes in, even if they are not on TeamSpeak. I'll post a link here. Only members will be able to access this, but if you are a member, please vote. This poll is going to be up for 3 weeks, which means it'll be a week after the next meeting that it'll be taken down. So it's more of a long-term vote to see how people feel over the change. You will have the option to change your vote if you feel your opinion has changed, but this is a specifically vote for members. Just wanted to make sure that you're aware of this. I'll bring it up again at the Discord meeting in 2 weeks from now.
Roger that. Motoko has brought up messenger pigeons. Okay, that no laugh at all. It was worth a try. AIM, Dragonfire. Dude, I know that you're saved, but you shouldn't flirt with Satan like that. Anyway.
What did I just miss?
Dragonfire said that we should go back to AIM.
Oh,
you know,
geez.
there's a prerequisite to going back to AIM, and you had to be on AIM in the first place. Raise your hand if you've been aimless your whole life. Hand raised. Okay, that came out wrong.
AIM is better.
What do you have, Grim?
I would just one last thing I'd like to say is if Discord prevents people from trying to kick football off of the server just by saying something, then I vote for Discord. You guys know what I'm talking about?
No, say
Feels
that again.
like hogwash to me, but go ahead.
Say that again for clarification.
If football's speakers are on, someone can say something like "close TeamSpeak," and his TeamSpeak closes. And
Hazel.
if you can't do that on Discord, then I vote for Discord.
The thing is, I'm not sure how much you'll see football on Discord. So,
See him there all the time.
That was very intuitive, Crosser. But if you were here earlier, you would have heard the comment that said that football would prefer to stay in TeamSpeak because it's easier for him to use.
before we move any further, Doctor, this be your first chance to speak. Go ahead, sir.
I just want to mention that we keep on talking about what football would want for him. Could we maybe hear from him directly?
Indeed, indeed. Do you have an opinion there, Mr. Ball of Feet?
They were asking for your opinion on the chance or the idea of moving over to Discord.
We want if you don't mind bearing this particular information, football, we're looking for personal, your particular, operational ability with TeamSpeak versus Discord, so people understand what it's like. If you don't mind. Roger that. No, I appreciate Doctor's point that we were speaking for you, and it was about time you spoke for yourself. So I think it needs to be said. Football does have a lot more to say on the subject. I think he's put a little bit on the spot right now by this. So just understand that there's a lot of background that's been discussed, and football has had his opinions, and without going into all the specifics and all the put him on the spot issues and stuff, football, if you will, if you would prefer to stay with TeamSpeak, turn your light orange. Okay, well, there you go. That football's firmly in the TeamSpeak camp. We just wanted to make that clear. We're not going to go into every little reason why that's true, but that's only because we don't want to put him on the spot too much. But this has been discussed, and so yeah, I'm wondering, would it be harder to kick football if we were in Discord? Because I mean, wherever we end up, we need to make sure that we can kick football at a moment's notice. So.
Right.
And any of the rest of email contents. I'm just kidding. Alrighty. At this time, I'm not going to open our meeting to just back and forth, free for all opinion, because we'd be here for 3 hours. We have already gone over an hour, so I'm going to keep this very brief. But this little segment here, I'm going to allow people to say, I'm going to give everybody a chance to say one thing. I mean, literally one sentence. I will interrupt you if you break into 2 sentences. This is everybody's chance from top to bottom to say one sentence about their overall opinion. I want to stay with TeamSpeak, or I want to go to Discord. This is not a chance for you to elocute your opinion on this particular thing or that particular thing. This is just a general feeling, so everybody kind of gets a feel for the general consensus, and then that's it. That's all we're doing right now. So if you say more than one sentence, I will interrupt you. Anybody want to say anything? Okay, we also have people doing this in chat. Matoko says, I vote for TS.
I vote for Discord.
Grid votes for Discord?
I vote for
Donut.
Discord.
Okay, Donut goes for Discord. Turo, what do you have? Or,
I
sorry,
personally
Flo.
like Mumble.
Okay, I just had a flashback to our Christmas carols for some reason.
Oh, you're a troll. Although, would you be anything less?
What do you have, Sprinkles?
TeamSpeak.
Roger that. What do you have, Sean?
Discord.
And what do you have, Prodigal?
As long as I'm with you beautiful people, it doesn't matter either way.
Okay. Okay, Prodigal has hit the nail on the head. I want to make sure this is said tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Christian brothers and sisters in a community that is designed both for our fellowship but also for the glory of our Father in heaven. It does not matter if we are using Mumble, Skype, Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, or any other, as long as we are doing what we are supposed to be doing. Having said that, yes, we have opinions on TS versus Discord, and we will continue to have these opinions, but let's keep in mind that it's not just about whether or not we have fellowship or whether I can jump in and be sure that I can find a game of PUBG with certain players. That it's about God, about His glory first. So if we get to a point where we're talking about this and you start to feel defensive and you start to feel tightened up in your chest and you want to lash out, you're doing wrong, and you need to go and think about things for a minute. You need to listen to what other people are saying, and you need to pray about it if it becomes an issue for you. Don't stumble over this, please, folks. This is just us talking. Thank you for bringing that up, sir. ICQ. Man, Matoko, you are older. No offense, I am too.
Old people jokes.
ICQ is actually a trivia question now. Yes, they're not.
Team speaks bad.
Okay, that's 2 sentences. I'm gonna have to interrupt you right there.
Wow.
You already had your 1 sentence.
Yeah,
You already had your
nice.
1 sentence. All right. Okay. This is the final thought segment. Okay, we have gone over an hour. We're about to hit an hour and 20 minutes. At this point, I've listened to a lot of opinions from various users and so on. But it is time. At this time, this is only for our leaders from, I'm going to say from Grizz up, who wish to speak at this time. If you don't want to speak, that's fine. If you do, that's fine too. If you have an opinion either way, if you want people to further think about it, it doesn't matter what you have to say. If you're a leader and you have a final thought on this issue, go ahead and say it now.
I'd like to just reiterate what Neo is saying here about our community to stay strong no matter what comes up. We're trying to stay as a community. We're trying to move forward if we need to by choosing Discord.
Thank you, Amroth. Anyone else on leadership have anything to say? Alrighty, here's how this is going to work, folks. We have more than one thread. As Amroth mentioned, we have a members-only thread. Crosser has a thread. We have this straw poll, and we'll shoot back to it or make new ones as time allows. We have a meeting in 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks, we will make that meeting happen in Discord and not in TeamSpeak. Okay, so as of this particular meeting, this Discord versus TeamSpeak issue is now tabled. Does anybody else have any other things they'd like to bring up? You have very limited time to do so. Anybody have any other topics whatsoever? What do you have, Sean?
TeamSpeak is terrible.
Alrighty, okay. What do you have, Flo?
I just wanted to bring up that the Saints Lore project that we've been working on is being done by the community, and it's not a CCG affiliated anything, but it's a fun thing that we've been doing together. If you guys have any ideas you'd like to see done or any collaborations you'd like to do, it's always open, and I'm always looking for volunteers for Bible verse readings. Thank you.
Thank you, Flo. Thank you very much. And to sort of piggyback on that sort of suggestion that Flo has, we have more than one artist in our community who are capable of creating digital art, particularly for t-shirts and things like that. Dynamite Tiger recently has released an art shirt or two that are pretty nice. If anybody has any ideas, even if they don't have the ability to create digital art, please come to one of our artists, myself, Dynamite Tiger, or anybody else, any of our threads about the store, and give us some ideas, and we'll be happy to make something for you. We can even make one-off personal items. We do not have to make items in bulk. We can make you a one-off shirt that just has your name and like a gigantic A on it if you want. Whatever you want, we can do this. You can use MS Paint. That is True Scrunch. If you send me a big enough artwork made in MS Paint, I kid you not, I can get you a shirt. So anybody that has any ideas for anything like that, if you have any suggestions for the website, forums, anything, our door is always open. Please talk to us. What do you have, Sean? And do not say Discord's better than TeamSpeak.
So I had an idea for a game night. I was hoping, those who have CS:GO, we could probably do a CS:GO night sometime. If anybody has CS:GO like me, so I can play with other people, that would be glad to play with anybody.
Roger that. We have a thing basically, Sean, where anybody can pretty much put an event together anytime they want. What I would suggest at this point is that you get together with somebody like maybe Catch Football or someone similar to football, and maybe he could kind of give you an idea of how to put something like that together. Not that there's anybody similar to football, but what I mean is, like anybody that's got a DL, a TS, a CA, or a CM next to their name would be more than happy to help. Also, people like Cal Hobbs, for example. These are people who are more than happy to give you an idea of what the process is there. What do you have, Corey?
I was wondering if there'd be a possibility that we could get some sandbox servers, possibly like Starbound or Terraria. I heard Terraria was brought down, but it was causing a lot of issues.
Well, actually, I would like to write off of what you just said. Does anybody know, are Starbound servers something that we could run, or are they decentralized, or are they rental servers? How does that work?
They are rental servers at this moment in time.
Okay, well, if a server is a rental type of situation and we don't have control over it,
okay,
it would really be up. It'd really be up to membership to create one.
Okay.
Now, in the future, as more and more people go the rental server route, we may have to figure out a way to maybe put together the ability for us to rent servers.
Well, I'm pretty
But
sure
at the
you
moment-
can. You still can make a server technically.
Yeah, Moto just posted in the chat. Sorry, I had to quick put it in there. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so yeah, we do have some multiplayer links up there. Okay. Our tech support guys, Dragonfire and all you guys, you should pay attention to this because what we like to do when situations like this come up is start threads on the forums and get some discussion about them.
Okay.
The reason I say that is we have quite a few people that have been talking about Starbound lately. So Starbound is growing in our community. If you jump in right now and you share ideas on how we could run a server, there's a real good chance we could go that route. So I would definitely suggest that you get people behind you on that.
All right, I'll start on that tonight.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for the question, Corey. I appreciate it.
Well,
What do you
thank
have,
you
Sean?
for the answer, Neil.
I
Yes,
was
sir.
wondering, like, could we look into getting a Grand Theft Auto RP server? Because I know there's people out there that have an RP server that that they put with their community. I was hoping we could get like a server like that, an RP server, where we could all play on it as a community. If that's and then if we could do that.
Again, this is one of those things where, like I said, if it's a particular game or it's a particular idea, you need to hop on the forums and get what sort of like a grassroots following of people behind you. If you get enough people interested, it's something that we can do. But if it was just like one or two people in the community asking, usually we won't really involve ourselves if not enough people are interested. So get some people interested. I don't mean to like make it sound like we're kind of passing it off. What I mean by that is you're bringing up in a meeting and it might get remembered by one or two people, but if you really want to keep it in people's memory, run it to the forums and remind people of it. What do you have, Prodigal?
Well, speaking of making people interested, I'm sure most people already do it, but should be encouraged to any time that you get a chance to mention it on any type of social media about CC gaming, because I know a lot of people out there that I keep posting on my Facebook and stuff like that, and I know they're Christians and I know they're gamers, and I know the people that they're hanging out with can sometimes be judgmental, and it's always good because you never know who on your friends list might be looking for something like this. But I constantly post stuff about CC ever since I started the first day that I got on here.
Roger that. That's a very good point. We have various things that we try to do, and unfortunately, sometimes different things that we try to do kind of eventually fall through the cracks as they just don't work or whatever. Facebook is one of those places where we constantly have quite a bit of people paying attention. So anybody that shares our page or likes our page or anything like that, that would help. We do have a group as well. We have a group where you can post anything you want. So if you're not aware of the CC Gaming group on Facebook, we also have that.
I'm not very popular at the moment. I just started streaming like 4 or 5 days ago. But when I do stream, I keep the TeamSpeak information up on my stream in case anybody wants to join, especially during Bible study and stuff like that. because I post Bible studies on Facebook to let all my Christian friends know that they could join. They could either watch the Bible study on my stream or they can hop in and participate in it. My space.
Sorry.
Is that website even still active?
Yeah, it is, sadly.
I think they sell gloves or something now.
No, you can still go see your old profile.
What about MySpace? Lol. Sorry, I'm done.
Okay, I'm going to go to Sean now on the understanding that Sean is not going to say TeamSpeak sucks.
No, I'm not. Okay. Oh. So, oh crap, what was I gonna say? Crap, I can remember. Come back to me.
It had something to do with Discord or TeamSpeak, I bet. I just wanted to share that I had a private message. Somebody's already given me a great T-shirt idea. There it is. They said we should make a shirt, a Bear Grylls shirt with them writing a awareness. Is that what that is? So keep an eye out. We might just have a shirt like that soon. Dynamite Tiger's already working on it. Alrighty, this is going to be a last call, folks. We've gone quite a bit overboard on this tonight. Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to talk about this evening? Because we wanted to vote. We wanted to vote a little extra time because of this subject, because we didn't want anybody to have a brain fart or anything over it. But this is your last call. Anybody have anything else they'd like to bring up this evening? Alrighty. We will work on that, HT. Either way, we want to thank everybody for coming out. This is a very well attended meeting this evening. And does anybody have the latest straw results from that straw poll?
Troll
poll.
Still a little bit TeamSpeak heavy at the moment. But again, that was just to kind of gauge the overall feeling of people who were in here. So.
The troll poll.
12 to 9.
Sprinkles.
I want to see Mac and Cheese win. I really do.
Can I say one thing about
Can we make that happen?
TeamSpeak?
I'm with Mac and Cheese.
2018. Oh, man.
A vote. I just want you to know, a vote for Mac and Cheese is a vote for Neo Javis.
There you go.
Oh, jeez.
Neo.
I think I heard somebody wanted to say they had something about TeamSpeak. I don't know. I briefly caught something. Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, it's prodigal. I just wanted to let you guys know that Discord is like heavy when it comes to text chatting, and TeamSpeak is more of the voice chat. So I can pretty much guarantee you, if we switch to Discord, there's going to be a lot less voice interactions that's going to go on in the community.
Not if we have community events that we put together and still encourage community and stuff. Depends.
Alrighty. Well, I would like to give Prodigal the Beat the Dead Horse award for the evening.
Be the good horse. What?
Beat the Dead Horse award.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Alrighty. Somebody has asked, what size do the graphics need to be for t-shirts? The general size, if you have control over these dimensions, it needs to be at least 300 DPI, which is dots per inch, pixels per inch. And we try to go for like legal size. So at the very bare minimum, if you make it 8.5 by 11, but you can actually stretch that to from 8 to 10 inches wide, and from 11 tall to about 14 tall. But that's for people who understand what the heck I'm saying. What do you have, Sean?
Do we have to buy the shirts, correct? Like, do we have to pay for them, or?
The way the CC store works, it's a store that's on a printer's website, but we also have it inside of our website. So you can order an existing shirt, or you can come to one of our existing artists and sort of tell us what you'd like, and we can make it for you. And basically the way the store works is the printer that we use, they're going to charge a base amount for a shirt, and for whatever color that shirt is or whatever. and then whatever the design cost for them to print and ship to you, CC makes exactly $2. So what you're doing when you buy a shirt is you're getting a shirt, a one-off shirt that you want, a unique shirt that you want, and you're putting $2 in CC's account for keeping our servers running and so on. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay, so I have to pay $2, correct, for the shirt? Is that what I'm
No.
hearing?
You
No,
pay
what I'm saying is you pay the price of the
24 or
shirt
whatever
plus
it's gonna
$2.
be.
Okay, okay, so I'm paying how much? Like two what?
Let's say a shirt
paying the
costs
price of the
$16, then
Okay,
you're paying
okay.
$18 for the shirt, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
the
also have to pay for the
Okay.
shipping.
costs, right. It's no different than going to Walmart. You purchase the cost of the shirt.
Okay, so the shirt's gonna cost me about $16, correct?
No,
Something like
no, and it's different prices for different sizes. All I was saying was you're paying whatever their price is to make the shirt,
Oh,
plus
yeah.
your all your shipping and everything is all going to be involved in that price.
that? Okay, I got you.
And yes, Fliffy, we can make hoodies as well. Yes, sir.
Yes.
I think they have more than one style of hoodie. I think they have pullovers, and I think they have zippers as well. So
Do you actually have a pink fluffy unicorn shirt?
Wow.
Wow.
yes, we do. Yes, we do. We actually had a night. We actually had a night where people were going all crazy in TeamSpeak, and I basically said the phrase that the attention span in our meeting that evening, everyone had the attention span of gnats riding bullets through clouds of colorful glitters in front of unicorns humming the battle hymn of the Republic in front of a double rainbow.
Oh my gosh.
And a CC artist immortalized that in print. So yes, we have that. We have that in shirt. We have that in poster. We have that in hoodie.
Beautiful. Simply beautiful.
Top
They
10
approve.
top 10 anime speeches.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 for the unicorn. 10 out of 10.
Actually wearing
Neo-
my Christian Cruise shirt I have now.
Neo for president.
So am I. I should get my Blue Yeti. Hold up.
But again,
No, I should.
last but not least, if you have
unfair.
If you have any ideas whatsoever for t-shirts or other products, we do have other products we can make. Like for example, I could brand you a skateboard deck if you wanted it bad enough. But
Ooh.
the
I
point,
would want that.
yeah,
I would totally want that.
come to me if you have any questions and we can talk. I'm going to go to HT real quick and then Prodigal,
Can we
and then the
make
meeting will
our
be
own-
over.
Can we make our own cups too? Like, can we have like drinking cups too?
Oh.
What do you have?
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Stickers?
just wondering. I might have asked this like
Yeah,
a half a year ago,
stickers.
but I already forgotten.
we-
How much
can
was
we-
the international shipping?
Can we please have stickers too? Like, can we make our own
Oh,
stickers?
that
I don't
that
remember
know.
what it was,
Oh,
HT.
I'm sorry, my son
If
just
you
died.
see Hunter on next time, ask him because he has bought one, but he also went a different
Oh, he had
route.
that made. He had
Yeah.
that made. Yeah.
So, oh yeah, they definitely will ship internationally. I'm just not sure. I don't think it would be all that much for you, to be honest. But I'll look into that in just a few minutes.
All right.
Just to give you a quick rundown, folks, we can make what are called die-cut stickers. So let's say we did your name in a cool font inside of a box. We could literally cut the sticker around the box.
That'd be
We can
cool.
make
That would be-
shirts. We can make baby bibs.
Baby fans.
They do lots of stuff. They do canvas prints and metal prints that you can hang on your wall. They do posters.
What about necklaces? Can we do necklaces too?
I don't think they have necklaces.
What about the
How about cookies?
Okay. Anybody that has any further questions about that sort of thing, please message me on the forums. But as of right this minute, we're going
What
to go
about
ahead and
bracelets?
close
Can
the
we-
open meeting
Can we have our own
and
bracelets too?
ask that all of our leaders jump into the closed section together. And we want to thank everybody for showing up.